For these projects, I'm going to be using the wood starter Jigsaw. They sent this to me last week or so to check out, and it has done an absolutely awesome job. It has handled everything from cedar pickets to maple and walnut just fine. I'm really excited that you can use the Makita batteries with this, so I don't have to worry about only having one wood starter battery, which actually lasted quite a while. But I can go ahead and use my Makita batteries and use the charger that I have from my Makita and not be overwhelmed with too many chargers. This first project that I'm starting out with is a very simple napkin holder. I'm starting with cutting the cedar board that has already been sanded down to about 10 inches. I use the ruler to measure the distance between the edge of the jigsaw and the blade so I can set my straight edge at the right distance so I can cut at that 10-inch mark and not have to fool around with holding the jigsaw and trying to put the straight edge in the right place. Whenever possible, use the materials you already have to measure. I need both of these legs or sides the same size, so I use that to measure the second leg. When you're using the jigsaw, make sure you let the blade do the work. If you use too much pressure, then the blade will wander and you will not get a straight cut. I have no plans for this, so I'm just going by eye and deciding what I'm going to do as I go. I'm using the napkins to see about where it should fit so that they don't touch the bottom of the table. I went with 4 inches, but I actually probably should have gone about 3 inches because they just barely touch the table once everything is done. So if I did this again, I would definitely shorten up this gap and make it probably about 3 inches. I've measured the thickness of the cedar board so I can create an offset when I hook these two together. I'm using the blue tape trick with blue tape on both sides and CA glue to temporarily bond these together because I want the cutouts that I'm doing on these cedar boards to be the same on both sides. So the easiest way is just to cut them at the same time. And I need that offset because when they're put together, I want to make sure that the legs are even. Another cool trick is when you need to draw straight lines, you could use your thumb as a guide and keep your pencil in the exact same place and run that across the side of the board, and you don't have to use a measuring tool. Now, if you don't have a drill, you don't have to worry about not being able to get into the corners. You can cut out the same shape without drilling those holes by doing kind of an X shape as you cut things out, and then you can get around those right angle corners pretty easily. Here I'm using some blue tape as a hinge to kind of help hold these together while I glue it, so I don't have to use any clamps or anything. Oops, might be a good idea to sand first. The little one came in to observe. And of course, I totally forgot to use the blue tape again, but I'm using CA glue here as well as the wood glue to make the bond a little bit quicker so I don't have to wait for glue and I also don't have to use a clamp. And there we go, it fits. I'm staining this really quick with some Danish oil. I would recommend to use another form of joinery other than just the glue for this if you want to make sure that it lasts and that it's sturdy. You can put a base on this and it will do really well. It'll be very sturdy. If you don't want a base, I would recommend using another form of joinery like splines or a nail gun to give it a little bit more sturdiness, because if you drop this with so little surface area that is glued together right here, it is very likely to fall apart. Next up is a little bit more advanced napkin holder, which I will be using more than just the jigsaw. I'm measuring here to see exactly where I want everything. I'm going to cut this at 6 inches because I didn't want the edges of the napkins to stick out, but make sure that when you cut your pieces that you actually measure correctly. And mine ended up being like an inch off. So the ends ended up hanging out over the sides, but it was fine. Not that big of a deal. I'm using the rest of the poplar here to cut the piece for the base of the napkin holder. Now this napkin holder is going to have cool mountains on it. I am not an artist and I did a horrible job drawing these mountains, so you could probably do much better than I can. But I'm sketching it out to see where I want everything and then using the jigsaw to cut out the mountain peaks. The jigsaw itself is having no problem getting through this poplar whatsoever. I am having an issue with my hold down methods. I really don't have a lot on my bench to hold things down like this, so that was my main issue. I'm using a rasp to soften the edges and to get rid of some of the marks that I made with the jigsaw. I just got these rasps this year, and I can tell you this is definitely something that you want to get as a beginning woodworker. I should have gotten these a long time ago, and I can't believe how many times I've used them since then and has made things so much simpler. My vision the whole time was to have the mountains opposite each other, so one high peak on one side and one high peak on the opposite side, and I glued them on backwards. I was so disappointed, but I didn't want to deal with trying to cut it apart or anything, so I just left it as is. It still came out pretty good. I'm using CA glue here again to help it bond quicker, so I don't have to use any clamps or any nails in order for this to bond together quicker. I just have to hold it for a couple seconds and I'm good to go. Taking the hand sander to it really quick and knocking down the edges, making sure it's all nice and smooth. And then I grabbed some Rubio Monocoat and put that on there. I really love Rubio. It's really quick and easy. You wipe it on once, wipe it off, and you're good to go. This is a great beginning woodworking project to do and only used a couple tools. It took about 30 minutes to finish and you have a wonderful napkin holder. Now this project takes a little bit more effort. It really depends on the material that you start with. I used a live edge slab that I had and started from there. I wanted to put it through the planer and get it all set up so it would be nice and pretty, but it would have taken so much material down that I wouldn't have had anything left. So I went ahead and used the jigsaw and cut it out, kind of using the shape of the bark and everything that was already there in order to make the shape of the charcuterie board. Once I got this down with the jigsaw and got a lot of the higher wings off of this, I was able to put it through the planer and it ended up taking about ½ an inch off the thickness. So it went from almost an inch thick to about ½ an inch thick when it was all done. This jigsaw was having no problem whatsoever getting through this walnut. If you buy a board that's already finished from one of the big box stores, you won't have to go through so much work and you won't have to use a planer. But I was using the wood that I had on hand. The shape of this charcuterie board was totally drawn out by hand. I did not use any kind of fancy jig or anything like that. I just drew it by hand and followed that line with the jigsaw. I wanted to look really rustic and very much handmade. So if you get a board that you would get from the big box store, once you draw out your design and cut it with the jigsaw, you're good to go. There isn't much to do. I'm filling in the holes and any of the gaps right now with CA glue to fill in some of the cracks and the splits that are there and make sure that there's no food that could get into any of the gaps. Again, I'm using the rasps to go around the edges to get any of the sharp corners that I made from the jigsaw because I wasn't trying to be really careful when I cut it out. Again, I wanted this to be rustic. So I'm just getting some of those lines out that make it not look so organic. Oh no, I glued it to the plywood. A little yank and it came right off. Little bit of sanding to sand down that CA glue and make everything nice and smooth. Now when you use CA glue to fill in gaps, don't worry if when you sand you end up with spots that weren't quite filled. Just go ahead and fill them again and then sand it again and just keep going until all those holes are filled. So here I'm using the rasp to go around the entire board. And it only took me about 5 minutes. It was actually really quick. I wanted a bit of a chamfer. It looks very unfinished if you have really sharp edges. So didn't want to round over the edges. I wanted more of a chamfer. So I took the flat rasp and I went through the whole board, top and bottom, and rounded over, or chamfered, I should say, the edges. You can also use a router to do the same thing, or a hand plane, and even just a sander, like a hand sander, and round over all these edges. And the moment that everyone's been waiting for, the finish. I just used some walnut oil. Oops, I forgot to round over inside the hole. And the colors just pop. It looks so awesome. There's even some burl that is there in the handle. And here's the finished project. It looks absolutely awesome. You can put food on this, you can use it as a cutting board, or you can hang it on the wall as decoration. I even put a candle on the top of it and used that as a display. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please like and subscribe.